All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome back. Today we were setting up here, and I figured before I get into my set, I've been wanting to talk about mixing in key. I've been around music my whole life, and I play a little bit of keyboard, a little bit of guitar and stuff, and I just kind of wanted to share my knowledge. I know that there's a lot of like basic mixing in the key videos out there, and I just kind of wanted to go over some more maybe advanced tips, maybe try to talk about why things are the way that they are. And yeah, hopefully it helps. Hopefully, it's something that you guys will take from. But yeah, let's dive in. I wanted to actually come right here onto the keyboard and just kind of show you guys a couple of the keys. So I think most people know that, all the white keys create one key. So you don't really need to know all this, but I wanted to at least introduce people to it just in case. As DJs, we should at least have the bare minimum foundation. So we look at C major, and that's going to be all of our white keys. So here's my C key here, and if I start, that creates a key, these 7 notes here. And when we talk about keys, we're talking about a group of notes that go together. So in this case, what I just played was C major, and that is number 8 on our mixing key. So if we look at the notes that are next to C, the 5th up, like if we go up on the actual mixing in key chart, the next one up would be G. So if we look at the major key of G, it's almost all the white keys except for this one note here. And then I know a lot of you know when you're mixing in key, you normally want to match the keys that are on the left and the right side. So if we're on number 8 right now, we would want to match with number 9 or number 7. So number 9 is the key of G, and so number 7, which is the one right below our key of C, which is number 8, if we wanted to go down one key to match, we would be going down to F major, which if we take a look at F major, you can see it's almost all white keys except for that one note. So the important thing to know here is the further away that you get from the key that you're in, the more notes are going to be incorrect. So if we're just moving one over, you can see it's only one note that's changing. And that's why generally it's okay to move just that one over, because 6 out of the 7 notes that you're introducing from this new song are matching. They're the exact same notes except for one. And the further away that you go, if you were to go say from 8 to 10, you would now be introducing 2 out of the 7 notes would be incorrect compared to your original key. And the further out you go, the more incorrect notes you're adding. So that's really important to know. Also, a lot of times we're told that we should be moving up in the key. And that is for energy, right? So if we go up a 5th, that actually brings up energy, and it's actually a common musical technique to introduce more energy. When you go up to that 5th, if you ever heard like maybe of a power chord, power chords are basically just fifths. The root note, the original key note, and the 5th makes up a power chord. So when you go up a 5th, it's just a common musical knowledge that adds the energy. And same thing when you go down, a very common thing for ending music is they'll go from the 5 to the 1 and kind of resolve everything. So when you go down in key, you're kind of resolving that tension, and maybe you can use that too creatively, but generally for the most part, when we're taught beginning mixing in key, we want to go up to continue to build that energy, right? Same thing like when we're doing the BPMs. We almost never want to be creeping our BPMs down. We almost always want to be creeping the BPMs up until we reach a high point, and then we kind of restart. So that's always good practice, but that's why it's working, because we're going up those 5ths. That's what's building that energy. Going up each 5th is building that energy. We're here at Serato. I got some songs lined up. And so I wanted to do... So this is just kind of like my pop crate here. I wanted to start with a 10. And so we have, on our right-hand side, we have Let's Get It Started, Black Eyed Peas, and we can see this is in 10A. And again, even if you know the like names of the keys, once we convert it to the DJ world, I feel like it's so much easier to just think in numbers. Like even if you have your fifths memorized, we're already thinking in bars, we're already thinking in BPMs. So just adding another number is, I think it makes way more sense than trying to like go and convert your actual keys. Like if you can do that, more power to you, but I think it makes more sense. Even though I know all my fifths, it just makes way more sense to keep everything in the world of numbers. So we'll keep it in numbers from here on out. So if we're in 10A, we know that 9 would work, and we also know that 11 would work because they're very close to each other. If we were to go to a 9, only one note would be a bad note, a note that would be out of key. Same thing if we were to go to 11 compared to 10, then it would only be one note that would be considered a bad note. Now, the way to get around this, and I think the more advanced way to think of this, is now we can start to switch the pitch of the song. So if we were to say raise the actual key of the song by a semitone, by like just one either bump up or one bump down, then we can get a lot more keys to match. And I think that's like the next level. That's how you really can mash up a lot of different types of songs and get the keys to line up as well. So we know that the ones to the left, the very -1 and the very +1, if we were on 10, we would go to 11 or 9. We know those are already good. Now, if we were to go up to, say, 12 or 1, we would see that the key, as I just sync the key, is now at a -2. So we had to move this track down 2 semitones in order to match it to the track that we want to match it to our 10 track over here. And then if we were to go, say, up again to a 1 and try to sync our keys again, we would have to do again -2 semitones to get it to match. And again, we would be at 11 compared to our 10, which is still safe. We're still only that one note out, but it's a lot closer than what it was. Now, what's cool is as you creep out of that area, the ones that are just after, so if we're at 10, we're talking about adding a couple, so our 12 and our 1, or minus a couple, which would be our 8 and our 7, compared to our 10, those, even if we were to sync the key, would be at least -2 or would be considerably out. Some of them are going to be +5 depending on where we go. And once you get past that though, once you start getting into adding 4, 5, 6, and 7, that's when you sync the key, it's going to get very close. So it's a lot easier to just show. As we continue to go, if we were to go to 2A compared to 10, which is actually 8 keys away, 8 cycles of fifth away. If we were to sync this, we only need to raise this key 1 semitone, which is not a big difference. In my opinion, that's an acceptable difference that most people aren't going to notice. It will still be slightly noticeable, but most people aren't going to notice +1 or -1. So all we have to do is change this by +1, and now we are matching our keys, a 9 compared to our 10. So if we go take that 2, let's check out 3. If we load a 3 and sync up the keys, all we need to do is change this a +1, and now our keys are matching completely. And if we continue, find a 4, sync our keys, again, we only need a +1 to match our keys almost identical, 11 compared to 12. And let's keep it going, let's go up to a 5. Now we start getting a -1. All we need to do is -1 semitone and our keys are matched. And now all of our 5 tracks are usable. 6, same thing. If we key match it, all we need is -1 semitone, and now we're 11 to 10. Let's keep it going. Let's find a 7 here. 7, there we go. And then we're going to sync the keys. So if we see finally 7, we need a -3. If we go up to 8, we would need a +2. And then we're now back to our normal basics, which is 9, which we know goes with a 10, and then we're back to 10, and then 11, and so on. So if you see, if we start at, say, a 1 instead of a 10, then we know 2 is going to be good, and we know 12 is going to be good. And then beyond that, 3 and 4, and 11 and 10, even if we use key match, they're probably not going to work. Every other key besides that, though, if we use key match, it will work within 1 semitone, which is very acceptable. So that can open up a world more keys for you to look at and start using. You don't have to be just limited to the keys that are to the left or to the right. You can now start to think, okay, if something is like 4 or 5, 6 numbers ahead, then I'm gonna be able to just key match it. But if it's very close, then I might need to find something else to get there. So yeah, super important. I feel like once I started doing the key match, it opened up a world more of keys. Everything blends, a lot better, and you can just get a lot more creative with your keys and such. Now I wanted to talk about the major versus minor. I know, especially with the basics, you kind of only want to do the major keys if you're in a major, or the minor keys if you're in a minor, if you're going to go ahead and transition keys. And then you should only go from major to minor within the same key. In my opinion, all the notes are going to match regardless. So I think you can go to a major or minor. If you were on 1, in my opinion, you could go to a 2, major or minor. The notes are going to be identical, whether it's major or minor. The only thing that might change is the energy, but technically all the notes should be okay. And I feel like the energy is maybe something that should be taken into consideration outside of just matching the key. Once I know the keys match, take a listen. Does it actually sound good? Am I bringing the energy to where I want to bring it? And that comes down to good song selection. So finding a good song, that song's going to hit, and then get the keys to match. I think that's a much better way than, okay, what key is next, and then using the key to raise energy. I think it's much better. Find your track selection, then get your keys to match, and then, actually start to blend it. So yeah, in my opinion, anything on the left or right side of it is good. Any major or minor key, it doesn't matter. They're the same exact notes. And as long as the keys are matched, you're going to be good. I wanted to talk about setting the hotkey too. So on my mixer, you see I'm pressing my perimeter 1 button here. When I'm on my roll pad, that's what I have it set to. But basically any controller out there that is hooked up, like with Serato, I'm sure a lot of other ones will do it as well. But if you just kind of come up here to the MIDI button, if we hit MIDI, we can now click on any of our controls and map it to a button. So if I click on my key match button, now I got it waiting for me to press a button. So if I come here on my mixer and press a button, that's now going to save it to that button. And then I shut my MIDI off, and now everything should be saved. So that's how you can kind of match that, map that key button, that key sync button to your software. And I think that's really important. Have quick access to that key sync button, check to see if you can match the keys up, and then go ahead and quickly be able to do that in your mix. So yeah, I think that's everything. Hopefully that helped. A lot of this stuff was just right off the top of my head. I only had a few things kind of written down here, but I really hope that kind of broke down some of the reasons why, and hopefully that gives you ideas and some inspiration to start matching more keys and using that key sync button. And yeah, if there's anything else that you're curious about, let me know in the comments below, and I'll do my best to help out. And appreciate you watching. Thank you.